clinic. Republicans don't have a difference of opinion on the stage of their party. They have a multiple personality disorder. Mitt Romney talked about voters getting gifts, but the GOP turmoil is the gift that just keeps on giving to the Democrats. Yesterday, President Obama showed how a party should proceed after an election with focus and determination and listening to the electorate. The president is committed to winning the tax fight for the middle class. The Democrats cannot be derailed by all this GOP identity crisis. That's why I'm talking about it tonight. This is a time for the progressive community in America to speak with authority and with clarity on what this country really wants. Liberals, this is our time. It's time to govern. It's no time to back down. And if you're out there and if you think the election season's over, you're wrong. We fought and we worked hard for this opportunity to be in this position to do what? Make change. Get your cell phones out. I want to know what you think. Tonight's question: can Republicans reinvent themselves with minority voters? Text A for yes, text B for no to 622-639. I want you to go to our blog at ed.msnbc.com and leave a comment on this one. We'll bring you the results later on in the show. Joining me tonight, Congressman Luis Gutierrez of Illinois. Also with us, Michael Steele, MSNBC analyst and former chairman of the RNC. Gentlemen, great to have you with us tonight.
Thanks. Good to see you, Ed.
Congressman, you were on the floor today introducing your Republican colleagues to Hispanic voters in America. Did they hear your message?
I certainly hope so, because I think America is a nation of immigrants, a nation that welcomes new blood and new vitality, and that's what's made us strong and makes us the kind of democracy we are in the world. And so I hope that they did, because to be quite honest, what I said today on the House floor was, if you talk about self-deportation to 10 million people, millions of whom have American citizen children, if you say to thousands, tens of thousands of young people who gathered across this country and said to President Obama, yes, we're going to take you up. We don't want to be deported. We want a work permit, that you're just going to not extend that program, that as a matter of fact, you will veto the DREAM Act. If you're going to go hang out with the SB 1070 folks in Arizona and Governor Brewer, and then go to Iowa with members of Congress who say the only way we can control these immigrants is the same way we control our farm animals through use
Michael,
of electricity. That's a party that says, yeah, we don't really know who you are.
Michael, respond to that. There's a lot there to unpack.
No, there is a lot there to unpack, but I think the congressman is largely correct in his assessment, and I appreciate his introduction of the Hispanic community to the party in the sense that for the past 10 years or so, but more recently especially, we have really been tone deaf. You had George Bush and a few others who tried to crack open and sort of expose some opportunities for the party to have a real dialogue and communication, but we've seen how that's played out. So this is real time. I think your clarion call to the left is very appropriate. This is, the spoils of war is the opportunity to govern as in victory. And for the Republican Party right now, it's not just soul searching. It's following up on what Haley Barbour said. The establishment needs to, before you do that proctology exam, pull your head out and understand exactly what's going on and really what this time means for Hispanics, African Americans, and all Americans when you're looking at a two-party system and one party is tone deaf to exactly what's happening.
All right, Michael, let's put aside all the financial talk and that big battle that's going on in Washington right now.
Right.
If the Republican Party were to change, don't you have to come around on women's issues like equal pay, like letting them make decisions with their body when it comes to health care? I mean, there are some social fundamental things right now that the Republican Party's out of step with. At least that's what I saw in this election. Your thoughts on that?
I think there's some legitimacy to that. Look, we're fundamentally a pro-life party. We believe very much in the sanctity of life, but there's a way you can have that discussion without making women especially feel that they're out of place, out of step because of their particular belief or value system on that issue. Look, there's a broad cloth or swath of issues out there where we can find that common ground to stand on that talk to where people are. And I think, to your point, Ed, that the party has to recognize that, not everyone's going to be lockstep with us 100%. But on those things Ronald Reagan said I thought were very true. Where we have that common ground, let's stand there for the fight for better jobs, equal pay, and opportunity.
Congressman, I want to ask you, my commentary, you heard a moment ago, now's the time to move.
Yes.
And if you've got minorities on your side, they're voting with you, and there's more young kids coming into it that want to see an opportunity that the Democrats are putting on the table.
Sure.
If you don't legislatively move right now, are you missing an opportunity? I don't want to ask about what the Republicans are going to do to fix their camp.
No.
What are the Democrats going to do to enhance their camp?
I think that the Democratic Party has to respond. Here's what I've said, Ed. I said the same energy, the same vocation, the same numbers, the same enthusiasm that Latinos came out to vote for President Barack Obama, that's the kind of enthusiasm, energy, vocation, and commitment that we have to show to the cause. We cannot start to wander or wonder whether or not we were right. Because let me just say this. 1 out of 10 voters today is Latino. In 10 years, most will tell you that 25% of all voting age Americans will be Latino. So it's a growing population, and it's a population, because democracy is a tough thing.
What about that, Michael?
But, no, I think the congressman is exactly right, and I've been saying since election night, the reality for the GOP is that every month, 50,000 Hispanics turn 18 years old. And if we are not prepared to deal with that math, to deal with that reality, then we will be the party of the wigs.
And gentlemen, we will leave
way.
it there. Thank you. Congressman Luis Gutierrez and Michael Steele with us tonight here on The Ed Show. Thanks so much. Remember to answer tonight's question there at the bottom of the screen. Share your thoughts on Twitter at Ed Show and on Facebook. We want to know what you think. Coming up, he's a warrior for the